Hello, I'm Dr. Yasmin Kremedine. Let's get started. What is resilience? Resiliency is defined as the ability to adapt to change during transformation, and during that change, to continue to provide essential services. It consists of specific mindsets, as well as specific behaviors and actions that individuals and organizations can take to promote both individual well-being and mental health, as well as organizational stability during times of change. As it is strengthened and developed, businesses are more likely to succeed through planned and unplanned disruptions or changes. We will touch on the specific mindsets and behaviors in later slides. Resiliency is important because subsidized housing in Canada is at a turning point. Operating agreements are coming to an end, and many of these properties are facing significant amounts of deferred maintenance. Public investment in subsidized housing has declined across most of the country since the 1990s. And although the Government of Canada, provincial and territorial governments are reinvesting in subsidized housing supply after years of declining resources, there is little clarity about what this will mean for the future of subsidized housing providers. In response to the shifting terrain of subsidized housing organizations are undertaking substantive business transformations to ensure sustainability. For those changes to be successful, housing providers must foster both organizational and individual resiliency. There are many different types of resiliencies: individual resilience, organizational resilience, and community resilience. Individual resilience involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that promote personal well-being and mental health. People can develop the ability to withstand, adapt to, and recover from stress and adversity, and maintain or return to the state of mental health and well-being. By using effective coping strategies, individual resilience is thought to increase overall well-being, occupational success, aid in pain management, and give an individual the tools to navigate through individual or collective challenges. Individual resiliency is not a fixed trait. It can be developed, reapproached, or strengthened through lived experiences and or training. The second one is organizational resilience. It is the ability of a workplace to survive significant economic fluctuations, systemic risk, or disruptions by adapting and recovering through reorganization or through the development of different systems that allow an organization to resume its core operations. And finally, community resilience is the shared ability of an area to respond to adversity or disaster and bounce back as a community. During the time of adversity, community bonds are strengthened, resources are enhanced, and individuals build their skills in effective coping, thus enabling the community to work towards preparedness for the next disaster. Resilient individuals, organizations, and communities are proactive. They anticipate and prepare for change before a disruption or transformation is needed. Today, we will focus on personal and organizational resilience. When it comes to individual resiliency, there are specific mindsets and ways of thinking that differentiate those that are resilient from those that are not resilient. However, as we go through this ingredient list, keep in mind that individual resiliency is on a continuum and that it's not so black and white. You may find yourself fitting in between these two extremes, and that's normal. There may also be times where you may move backwards based on the number of stressors in your life and based on our human inclination for negative thinking. It's important to train ourselves through habit and practice to build our mindsets and behaviors to be more resilient. As mentioned, there are many differences in the mindsets of resilient versus non-resilient individuals. Here are some mindsets to consider. The first, resilient individuals know that you can learn to become resilient and that you must work hard at it every day. Individuals that are not resilient believe that resilience is a fixed trait and that you are either resilient or you are not. Second, resilient individuals know that although the current situation is less than optimal, they are going to focus on what they control. Individuals that are not resilient stay focused on the issue that they can't control. Third, resilient individuals can see into the future. They believe something positive can come from the less than optimal situation, while those that are not resilient only focus on the negative things that have happened and get stuck in negative thoughts and attitudes. And finally, resilient individuals know that although it will be challenging, they will come out of the event with a better life than before. Whereas non-resilient individuals focus on the fact that their life will be forever changed for the worse. When it comes to individual resiliency, there are specific behaviors one might take that differentiate those that are resilient from those that are not resilient. First, resilient individuals practice effective coping strategies. They make sure that they eat healthy, get enough sleep, and participate in physical activity so that they have energy. They try to surround themselves with positive friends and family and reach out for external supports if needed. Non-resilient individuals might focus on unhelpful coping strategies, such as substance use or other addictive behaviors in excess, such as shopping, video games, eating, gambling, etc. They sabotage friendships and are unable to reach out for support. Second, resilient people are self-reliant and confident in their abilities. They don't wait for others to do the heavy lifting for them. They know that they play a large part in determining their future, even in the worst circumstances. Individuals that are not resilient get stuck in believing that the actions of others will work to remedy their situation because they are not confident in their abilities. Third, resilient people are problem-focused. They set goals and work to reach their goals amidst the chaos. They focus on what they want, which gives them a sense of control, while those that are not resilient do nothing to fix the problem. Resilient individuals know their reactions can determine their future, and they choose to cope well with the negative situation, while those that are not resilient blame others for what they are experiencing and thus choose to not cope well. Ultimately, it is important to note that it is possible to have both resilient and not resilient qualities when it comes to specific ways of thinking and behaving. As mentioned previously, it is not black and white. We have listed many mindsets and behaviors that contribute to individual resilience. Take a minute now to write down what resilient qualities you already have and which ones you would like to work on. As mentioned, resilient individuals rely on themselves to get better at being more resilient. They are aware of their strengths and their weaknesses, and they focus on their areas of weakness so that they can improve their resilience a little bit more each day. Now, we are going to talk about mindsets and behaviors of resilient organizations. As mentioned previously, organizational resilience contributes to an organization's ability to survive significant economic fluctuations, systemic risk, or disruptions by adapting and recovering, which allows an organization to resume its core operations. When it comes to organizational resiliency, there are specific mindsets organizations might take that differentiate those that are resilient from those that are not resilient. Just like the individual resiliency ingredient list, as we go through this ingredient list, keep in mind that organizational resiliency is on a continuum and that it is not so black and white. You might find your organization fitting in between these two extremes, and that is normal. The first one I want to talk about is the belief that change is an opportunity for growth. Resilient organizations view change as an opportunity for growth. They know that with transformation, their organization will become more efficient and will be able to help more families find affordable housing. Second, there is a focus on the mission. Resilient organizations have a specific social mission and purpose. Everything that is done contributes to the end goal. And finally, there is excitement. Employees feel excited when they come into work each day. They are eager and happy to help contribute to the social mission. When it comes to organizational resiliency, there are also specific behaviors organizations might take that differentiate those that are resilient from those that are not resilient. First, they are proactive. They anticipate and prepare for change before a disruption or transformation is even needed. Second, they communicate. Resilient organizations communicate frequently and often. They value open communication, transparency, and even over communication. Everyone in the organization understands where the organization is heading because they are constantly informed. Third, collaboration. Resilient organizations are collaborative in and between departments. There is no us versus them. Everyone knows they are working towards the same mission and helps each other whenever they can. And finally, supportive. Resilient organizations show constant support, whether it is top-down, support for employees, including professional development activities and feedback, but also support bottom-up. Employees trust their decision makers to make the best decisions, especially during crisis when leadership may not have time to consult on big matters. This support leads to low levels of turnover and high levels of productivity. Just like personal resiliency, it is possible to have both resilient and non-resilient qualities when it comes to specific ways of thinking and behaving in the organization. It is not black and white. Take a few moments now to consider organizational resilient ingredients your organization already has.